but this is just what I experienced, because there's many layers to spirituality and the spiritual path, and it really depends on where you are on that spiritual path. What your connections like, what you've gone through, or what you're actually going through, because sometimes when you are going through the things with, especially the spiritual awakening, sometimes it can feel like the dark night of the soul. You have had direct experience of spiritual awakening, Sarah says, and had a deep connection to the soul. Brilliant, lovely to hear, Sarah. Love that. Now, when people say dark night of the soul, I actually think dark night of the soul. I'm a bit funny with that, because your dark night of the soul is just you with your ego. Yeah, it's just your ego coming out to play. And the ego isn't like him, that you're basically telling it to shut up and get back down. That's basically what the dark night of the soul is. You're looking at your shadow self, and your shadow self is coming up, and the ego doesn't like that. Sarah says, I have a direct experience. Oh, I've just read you, Sarah. Sorry, I'm looking up here. Hi, Steph. How you doing? So, and I've experienced that. I've experienced that many times, hence why I say it's definitely the ego, and it's the shadow side, and sometimes we need to work with the shadow. Well, we always need to work, not sometimes, we always need to work with the shadow to become full, to become a full person, become whole, yeah? Because when we have that shadow self and we push that shadow self down, really you're doing yourself a disjustice, because you're really there's gold in that. There's real gold in you actually coming to terms and embracing that dark side, the side that you don't like, the side that you hide from everybody else, and sometimes hide from yourself as well. And I'm only talking from experience here, So, as I say, just to let everybody know that we are talking about spiritual awakening, how it can help complex PTSD, soul loss, dissociation. In my shadows, infinite light. Brilliant, Sarah. Yeah, great. Love to hear that. Because spiritual awakening, as I say, it happens as a result. So, for instance, I'll just discuss mine. My spiritual awakening many, many years ago, before spiritual awakening was full out there. I mean, mine was maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. It was as long as that. And what I do remember was I had a lot of tears. I had, it was like I was fighting with myself because the ego obviously was coming up and didn't like it that I was saying, no, enough. This isn't how I want to live my life. And I was changing my vibration. I was doing a lot of spiritual practices, and my vibration was rising. However, there was a lot of shadow there for me to be able to rise that, and that's why they say the dark night of the soul, because they feel that it can be quite a traumatic experience. Yeah, for some people it can be. It just depends on where you are in life, what the experience is. Some people can have it that it's actually quite a very blissful experience, because I've had other awakenings and it was the complete opposite. It was like the only thing I could describe, there's no words can describe it actually, but it was like as if you touched the hand of God, and I say that lightly because I believe that it's infinite. Everything's infinite, and everything, we're all connected, and God is how people see God is, to me, you're the God. Yeah, isn't it different? Just feel good, have a good day too. You go, yes, yeah, totally, Eva, totally. Some people find that they'll have a spiritual awakening if they've had a dramatic change in their life. When there's big life changes, getting married, having a child, being very sick, having a near-death experience. There's a lot of ways that, or you could even just be on a spiritual course and it happens, and I believe that a spiritual awakening is when your soul is crying for help. It wants to be free. It really does want to be free. I lost my baby and now I'm a changed person, fighting every day for my daughters. Yes, it will. You will, Nicole. Yeah, because it's something that really means a lot to you, you know. And obviously, with the symptoms of complex PTSD, soul loss, dissociation, is you don't feel connected. You feel lost. You feel abandonment. You know, you feel a distrust with yourself and others. And what a spiritual awakening does is it gives you that connection. You know, after you get, if you've had quite a bad experience with it, you know, quite a negative experience with it, not the good experience, but the negative, what it does is when you get over that, it changes your perception about a lot of things. It actually, things that used to get you down, or you would feel stressed or anxious about, no longer do. They no longer do. It really just, it's like you feel things differently. You see things differently. You really, there's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, it's as if you've been reborn. That's, you know, your colours are brighter, your life's brighter, you know, even if you've came out of a job or a relationship or something like that, there just seems to be a lightness. Yeah, the bond I got will always be. Hi Jane, how you do? Elise says, I watched my father die in a car crash. It's changed my life forever. Yes, that will be. Yes, that will definitely change your life. Yeah. And I know because I watched my best friend die, and my mother died. Well, my mother died first, and then 7 months later, my best friend of 34 years died, and I watched her die. Do you know what I mean? So it really does change you. It makes you see that life isn't there for eternity. You know, that sometimes you got to make those changes in life. You know. Nicole says, yeah, see everything differently. Yeah. Yeah. The bond I got will all. Okay. Hard. Okay. Yes. That makes more sense. Yes. The bond you had will always be there. Yeah. Totally, totally. And my thing with the awakening as well is your energy, your vibration goes up. You know, your vibration, you emit a different vibration. And when you're raising that vibration, you become more conscious. You know, you become more at peace, more at one with others. You know, is the only way to think with. It's like you're really, it's as if that you really have this it's like a love, a feeling, you know. It's like this feeling that you have, that you there's an excitement, you want to learn more, you want to see more, you've got this deep connection, and as I say, this trust, this trust for yourself, especially when before, especially with complex PTSD, soul loss, dissociation, depersonalization, all those kind of things, there's a sense of distrust. You know, you don't trust yourself, never mind anybody else. You'll not allow anybody to. You won't show anybody your vulnerability because you see that as a weakness when actually it's actually a strength. You know, so it really there is a lot of things that you can be defined by that spiritual awakening, and there's so many things that you could have a direct experience of. You know, it just really depends on where your beliefs are, and where your spirituality is. You know, how are you waking up? Were you spiritual before? Is it a deeper, you know, connection? Or is that you just waking up? Because I remember when I had my last business, you know, and all my staff were very spiritual, and they used to talk about it all night. I would go, "Use it off your head. Use it all right," because I was so closed. I knew there was something there, but I didn't. I just didn't think me, because I was, the way I was living my life at that time. It, no wonder I was closed, you know. And when I did get that connection, wow, it was like the doors had just opened up. It was like this big, everything became multi-layered, everything became, you know, the colours became so much brighter. Life, those things that used to worry me or get me anxious or thing, no longer did, you know. I went and did things that I wouldn't have dreamt of doing before, you know, like going on treks, you know, up mountains, and you know what I mean, loads and loads of things. There's a whole load of stuff that happened. And what I would say is, when you're on your spiritual path and you're committed to that spiritual path, the teachers that you need will come at the right time. They really will. They'll come to you at the right time, the teachers that you need. Because I believe, and the way I see it is we all have the power. We all have our own healing. We all have our own strength, our own spiritual strength. It's all within us. Yeah. However, sometimes we just need someone to actually show us where to look within yourself to actually get that power, that healing, whatever strength, whatever it is that you need, you know, that connection. Because a lot of people are living and they don't have that connection with themselves, you know. They don't have the connection with their friends or the family. They don't have the connection with even their closest children, you know. There's so many people out there, you know. Eva says, I felt this was when my husband passed away in 2016, then when my mum and son passed 2019. Going through such sadness and loss, I've changed inside my heart to feel life is more to do and enjoy everything in life. But yes, don't. Now I'm very independent. Yes, yeah, totally. It really does. It really lifts your vibration, so it does. Because, and also as well, hi Beth, how you doing, darling? Also as well, when we're going through such grief and sadness, remember, give yourselves a wee bit of slack when you're going through that, because it's a process, you know. If for instance you are going through that grief, and if anybody's going through that grief just now, cut yourself some slack, you know. If you do feel that sadness coming over you, because it comes in waves. I'm fine now, I don't have that now, but sometimes I would just be sitting at my computer and I would just want to cry for days, 2-3 days at a time, you know. And I was never a crier, but I allowed it. I just allowed it to come, because that's what needed for me to heal from that grief, you know. Just allow it. But the thing is, when it isn't right for you, is when you get sucked into it, and it's maybe 5 or 6 years down the line and you're still in that same energy. That's when it's unhealthy. That's when you really need help to get you out of that. Yeah. So let me just have a wee drink, guys. So let me know, guys, who would you have said, what was your most thing that you experienced if you have had that change, that awakening and what have you? Let me know in the comments while I have a wee drink. Yeah, comes in waves. Yeah, totally. I mean, it could be, you know, a year or a year and a half, 2 years down the line, and then bang, it gets you. Yeah. I have to, or you could even hear a song, you know, a song that reminded you of them and what have you, or even a smell or something. Bang, gets you. I don't have that now, which is good. I actually, but I do, when I hear the songs or the whatever, I have a big smile, you know. So I know, because I know they're helping. They send me lots of signs, because I work quite heavily with spirit, and I also work a lot with a lot of clients with their you know, higher selves and spirit and all this. Sounds and smells. Yep. Self-love, self-acceptance. Yep. Your grief is like a roller coaster. Yes, Beth, it can be, darling. It can be. But just allow it. You know, don't push it down, because that's the worst thing you can do. Rachel, someone else confirmed it. Now we are not alone. We don't block it anymore. Good. Good to hear it. Yes. Lovely to hear that. So I do. Anybody else? You know, what is your grief like? Sorry, your awakening, not your grief. Your awakening, because we all did. We all, you know, we've all had grief in our lives. Most people have anyway, especially as we get older. You know, and it's really, everybody dies. Everybody goes. You know, I don't fear death because I know what's on the other side. Because I've experienced that. So, and it's the most wonderful feeling you'll ever feel, you know. And obviously I get connected with people that's on the other side as well, and they're so much happier, you know. Someone else confirmed in now, right? So we've just said that. Okay, Rachel. So basically, with the spiritual awakening, what I would suggest doing, especially if you do have the complex PTSD, soul loss, dissociation and what have you, is keep that connection, because it's like a muscle, yeah. And the thing is, because I teach people worldwide, you know, I teach people globally to get that connection, to keep that connection with so many different elements of spirituality, you know, from you know, the angels, the spirit guides, the power animals, shamanically, journeys, you name it, we cover it. Buddhism, all the rest of it, you know, that we really do. It's so much to think. And I also do a lot of programs, you know, and really choose something that always has you grounded, you know. So for instance, if you are going to be having that connection, always make sure you're grounded beforehand, because some people, when they become awakened, they come from the upper energy centers, and when they're coming from the upper energy centers, they tend to be not as grounded as they should be, and they tend to live in what I call sometimes la la land, you know, and they'd rather be up there with spirit than be down here, and really you're down here to get the lessons, so you need to be down here, you need to be grounded, you know, you need to have a process that helps you ground. Now, the meditation I did yesterday would actually help you ground, and as I say, there's about 1,200 people actually watched it, which is good. You've seen people using their ego to get what they want. They brag, they try to control you. I can't let them do this. I'm me. I love who I am. So what if I'm different? Brilliant, Ava. Love that. Absolutely love it. Rachel says it helped translate what a cousin was seeing as he was dying, and he was scared. He left at ease. It was beautiful. The 7 brothers. Yes, yes, it is. And sisters were so grateful. Totally, totally. Because it really is such a beautiful experience, you know. And us in the Western, we really have so many different ideals than people in the East, you know, in your Nepals and Peru and all the rest of it, you know, in India and what have you, Asia. They celebrate death, you know, they celebrate it because you're going to your creator, you've done your time, you know. But the thing is, if you've still got things to learn, you'll come back. I fell asleep, have to do the meditation again. Did you enjoy that meditation, Sylvia? A lot of people went on it, and I only went on quickly, actually. Sarah says, in the beginning I noticed that I felt a sort of survivor's guilt because I have been able to keep my connection to my light. So, yes, you will do, Sarah. And it's only natural, darling, that you feel that. It's only natural. However, it's just not your time, my dear. It's not your time, yeah? I speak to my loved ones and talk about them to keep their memory alive. Yes, do that. Do that. It's very, very good. Hi, Geraldine. First of all, with yourself. Love your accent. Are you Scottish? Yes, Geraldine, I'm Scottish. Live from just outside Edinburgh. Yes, Sylvia, it was a lovely meditation, wasn't it? Don't know where it came from, you know. Just think it out. So, But it's very good for getting yourself into your heart and that gratitude. It's great if you want to manifest something. That meditation we done yesterday. It's a powerful meditation if you want to manifest. Because if you want to manifest, always go into your heart area to manifest. Yeah, and that's the greatest tool. So basically, how also with the spiritual awakening is really sometimes, and I say this with caution, is sometimes you've got to watch who you speak about it to, you know, because the people who are quite close, and I'm talking from experience here as well, you know, it's people who can be quite close, they just don't get it, and they look at you as if you've got horns in your head and you're just not right in the head, and you know, even talking about spirituality, the amount of messages I get in a day, in a week, you know, about people from all walks of life, the same thing is they don't understand. What do I do about it? You know, and the thing is, what I say is, if they don't understand, why are you going to keep going on about it? Yeah, because they don't need to know. You know, they'll go in their own time. Because what people tend to do is, when they don't understand it, is they tend to diss you, you know, so they'll bring you down to their level, and it's just the way it is. It's just to make them feel better because they don't understand what's going on. Jess says, I'm an Ireland, my brother-in-law from your lovely country. Brilliant, yes. Whereabouts in Ireland, Geraldine? Whereabouts in Ireland are you from? I love Ireland. I absolutely love Ireland. I think we were in Ireland I think it was last year, actually. Yes, it was last year. I think it was, it's either Dublin or Belfast. I always get the two of them muddled up. And that's wrong, I know, because that's like Edinburgh, Glasgow. But I'm sure it was Dublin. Dublin I was in. Yeah, it was Dublin. It was Dublin. But I have been over to Belfast as well. It's lovely. So anybody, tell me, what is what's your spiritual awakening, your path, your purpose? Nicole, drink your cuppa before it goes cold. You're right there, Nicole, that's right. Rachel says, absolutely, but keep going because we are the enlightened ones. Yes, because remember as well, remember this. This is the thing that I tell a lot of people, is even though they don't understand, yeah, when you're awakened, remember your vibration is, you know, your vibration is rising, yeah. So because your vibration, remember, everything is energy. Everything is energy, yeah. And I work a lot with energy. I work with a lot of people's energy because a lot of people, what they find is because I'm a hypnotherapist as well, a spiritual teacher, the whole meditation teacher, breathwork practitioner, you know, Sikkim master, Reiki master. I could go on and on and on. All the you know, you can see the accolades at the back of me. They're only bits of paper, yeah. So, but basically, what I find is, when you're raising that vibration up, when your energy is becoming a lighter vibration, what actually happens is it affects other people. So, and I know this because of the courses that I do, yeah, and I've built, because I believe in getting, you know, making powerful courses. So, and what I see people doing is their actual energy, the vibration of the energy, because it's lighter, it's higher. What actually happens is it actually goes on to the family, their friends, you know, and they actually see these wonderful things happening with their friends and their family that really, they think, oh my God, our relationship is just so much better. You know, they're starting to get it, because remember, everything that's in your universe is actually your creator. You're the creator of it. So, but I always say, if there is people there that don't understand, you know, don't push it down the throats, you know. So let me see what we got here. Very true, Eva says, even people who say they believe. Yes, yes. Because the thing about that is, Eva, is we all have different stages of awakening. We all have different stages of where you're actually at in your awakening. You know, you're not the somebody that is awakened. Everybody doesn't experience it the same. So people have all different ways of being awakened. Yeah. Nicole says, my purpose is my kids. That's lovely, Nicole. Geraldine says, Fermoy, County Cork. It's a lovely place there. Beautiful, so it is. Rachel says, I'm a gardener. I'm here to plant and make healing herbs. I rub people, Reiki. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you'll know your purpose. That's your purpose. Geraldine says, wow, a lady of many skills and talents. And the first thing I noticed was always to be well done. Just hard, you know, I've travelled the world with your real shamans, you know, in the Amazon, walking up mountains in Peru, and, you know, your real Rinpoches and your monks in Nepal, and, you know, they've travelled all over the world, really learning my trade. But it wasn't for me to learn my trade, because I wouldn't have done this then. It was me to heal. That's why I went and did that. But now, you know, now I do this, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So April says, I found out when you're awakened, opportunities doors open massively, and you find what your purpose really is. Yep. I'm a caregiver in a retirement community. I tried to take my path elsewhere and found myself drawn back. You will do. Now, the funny thing is when I had a business before, I was a bridal designer, and I was basically won awards and all the rest of it, you know, and but I didn't enjoy doing it. I got to the stage I absolutely hated going to work. I felt like it was a noose around my neck, and I had for a number of years. I also taught it full time at college, as well as my business. I was a workaholic, you know. I really worked hard, and basically. Then I went and did a master's in psychology. I mean, who does that? I'm a master's in fashion design, you know. My degree's in fashion design. But I went and thought I would do a master's in child psychology, and because I love to work with children, and which I did. I mean, I passed it and what have you. God knows how. Probably one of the toughest years of my life. But what actually happened was I kept going down different paths, and my power was in my spirituality. My power was with my guides. You know, my power when I was helping people was with, I was doing things, and I was you know, saying it was maybe hypnotherapy, or you know, it was just energy. I wasn't actually saying it was, you know, it was my guides coming in. They were them that was doing the work. It wasn't me that was doing the work. I mean, it was them that was doing the work. So there was I ran away from what my purpose was. And when you do that, they'll keep bringing you back, you know. And when I actually did get over that fear of showing up, of showing people the spirituality, because there's a lot of people out there that really down spirituality, that actually they really make fun of you, judge you, all the rest of it. And if you've come from an adverse childhood or something like that, that's the worst thing you could do, to be going in there and get judged, because you just want everybody to like you. You know, that's just the way it is. So, but when I crossed over that fear, wow, just the doors that opened, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So what we got in here? We're all at different levels. Totally, Geraldine, totally. Rachel says, a cousin called out of the blue and asked, what am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? You are needed now. So we are changing and starting indoor-outdoor garden in southern Colorado above 7,800 feet in elevation. My husband is back in this. My kids say I'm crazy, so I'm careful who I talk to, and I'm healing my kid. Yeah, go for it, Rachel. Sounds amazing. Go for it. Yeah. Thank you. Call on me, Geraldine. Yeah. Who calling you? Me calling you. Yeah. Sorry, my daughter called me there. Good, Nicole. That was really good. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. And absolutely path is opening. Yes. Yes, me too. Started a new venture. Completely. Because that's, hi Vicky, how you doing, darling? So that's what will happen. Now, one of the reasons I'm talking about the awakening also is there's a new program I have out. It's an online program with group coaching as well. People are having amazing connections. It's called the Awakening Course. It's really because I always think the spiritual awakenings is a soul's cry for freedom. You know, listen to it, transform into something meaningful and significant. You know. And really, it's a 5-week online program. It will really help you with the feelings of lack of trust, safety, grounding, feelings of insecurity, losing connection to yourself, unhealthy relationships without those boundaries. It will show you how to do that. Loss of power and strength. Feeling of unworthiness, you know, those feelings that we sometimes get. It really helps people that has complex PTSD, that wants that deeper connection, you know, or dissociation, but they want to have that connection with the divine. In the first week, you'll be realigning your energy field. So I'll be showing you what your limiting thoughts and feelings and your emotions that you're holding on to from your past traumas and abuses. Sometimes we don't even know we're holding on to them, but it's actually keeping us back. It's not allowing us to move forward. And I show you, we delve deep into those with downloads, meditations, connection to the divine, you know. And then you're working with your ancestors. And also what I do also is I teach people about these core beliefs. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I don't belong. I need to control myself. I can't trust myself or others. I'm insignificant. I'm powerless. I need to be perfect. And so much more, really. And how they are actually holding you back subconsciously so that you can't live that dream life, you know, because you keep running on the behaviour patterns, because you need to run on those behaviour patterns if you've got those core, you know, the belief systems in place. We'll also look at your personality traits and what those personality traits and how they're keeping you stuck in your present life. And the Awakening Program helps you break down so you're finally free from any of that self-doubt, the pride, the feeling of not being good enough, unworthiness, powerlessness, you know, and also the feeling of that you need to be perfect. And you really step back and look at and release any of the traumatic memories or the inner that you have, you know, and you work with the ancestors in a really vibrational way. Your energy will be changed in such a vibrational way, transformational way as well. As I say, I only make programs that people get results from, and you'll be really you learn to forgive the people that have been tormented your thoughts over the years. Because think of this, guys, right? When, and I'm only talking from experience as well, you know, when we have actually had that torment in our mind, you know, of those past people who have given us trauma or abuse or what have you, even when we're in grief, you know, and those feelings come, what actually happens is it gets stuck in your energy field. Yeah, because what we tend to do is we push it down and we push it down. And when those negative thoughts are going on and on and on, that pattern is going on, it goes into the energy field. And what I do is I show you in a safe way how to finally release all that, how to let that go, how to actually, because there's so many programs out there, and trust me, I've done some of them. And I've come away and thought, well, that was a load of shit. That didn't work, you know. The ones I do, they work. You know, they really do what they say on the tin. They really do work. And they really are, they'll help you release safely, you know, at a deep level, a deep core, you know, from your mind, from your energy field, from your body, and also from your soul at a core level. And it will actually allow you to accept all the parts of you with, you know, that conscious light so that's within you. And you work with all the elements of the earth, the ancestral elements of the earth also. And you'll also be shown your own magic, your own magic, and how to actually raise that energy level even more than it's been raised now, to finally release all the blame, the guilt, the shame, the anger, the frustration, you know, all those low-level emotions, and finally have that deep connection. And I mean, so that you can actually have that those manifestations, you know, those dreams, that because you need to release it from your energy field before you can actually have those deep, powerful manifestations. And it's called The Awakening. It's a 5-week program, sorry. The last week's a bonus week. If anybody would like to know more about it, please just send me a PM or write Awakening, because this is shared in so many groups. I never know if somebody's wrote Awakening, so I always tell people, just send me a private message and we can sit and have a wee chat, or I can send you the link that tells you all about it and you can have a wee look at it. There's a few people on it just now, they're having great results, and it would be great